Transform, roll out, and enjoy the show.
Autobots, transform and roll out. This is Transformers 30. And yeah, we're talking about it again. There's a lot that happened in this issue that has to be divided and broken apart to look at every character. And now we're looking at Optimus. Not only his freaking sweet new robot mode, which is shocking, but legitimately might now be my favorite look for Optimus. I love it. I absolutely love it. But also, in the larger context, what this means moving forward into the next arc, and a bit of speculation, just a loose analysis. We're being a little chill here, we're being comfortable, so get a little comfy. So, Optimus, as you know, this issue leaked over a month ago because of an error on Google Books, and with that, everyone knew what happened, but it didn't change the sales at all. Still sold out at every level. Transformers issue 30 sold out at the distributor level. It sold out at shops. It sold. So the leaks did not hurt it, thankfully. And the story direction, most people want to see where it goes. Like 99% of people want to see where it goes. It is a super, super minority that is in, whether it's grifting for the fake outrage and for the clicks, or people who just refuse to pick up the issue and only know a couple of pages and don't know the context, haven't followed it. And who knows, honestly, some of these people may have not even picked up a single issue of Transformers and are just riding this train for the clicks. What I will say is it's an interesting direction. We finally get to have Optimus without the Matrix. We finally get to go, he's now leading a band of renegades. He is a small resistance. Their backs are against the wall. I like this kind of story, man. I like this storytelling. I like this angle. So now I get to see who Optimus is without this big leadership, military leader, all the bullshit, all of it swept away. It's Optimus. It's the not Autobots, the no bots. They're here and they're after it on their own. And Alita even warns them. She's like, I don't know when or if we're going to have the power again to be able to get people back to Cybertron. So they're cut off. And this is it. And this is exciting. I love it. Who is Optimus without the Matrix? We've had illusions of the kind of man Optimus was. We know that he was in a dark place before the Matrix. We know that he had given in to some darker impulses before the Matrix. Again, sounds a lot like Alita's arc, but the Matrix chose him anyway. And that's what's interesting, because the Matrix also chose Alita. So the Matrix saw something in Optimus and said, you can be better. And it showed him that, and now he is. And now here he is. He's Optimus again. I think the arc is going to be similar for Alita. And I think that's the problem with these superficial takes for the grift and just for the clickbait, is it really doesn't analyze any of the dialogue or anything that Optimus ever said. Optimus spoke with Sparkplug about what he was like before the Matrix. And the question of why would the Matrix choose Alita with how she behaves? Have you not heard how Optimus talks about himself? Like, the Matrix chose him anyway. And he's only made brief allusions about being in about how dark things got. So the arc and the symbolism is there. The light that is the Matrix is there. Light our darkest hour. The meaning of that can be absolutely varied. And when you the light in the darkest hour can be someone's own, personal darkness that it gets them out of. And that's what it did for Optimus. And it may very well do that for Alita. And the problem is when you look at this only as a superficial text, or when you only are fed something through a couple of pages or a couple of panels that are out of context and deliberately taken out of context, and that deliberately ignore actual storytelling and dialogue from Daniel Warren Johnson's run that is continuing and following through here. I have no complaints about the depiction of Optimus throughout Skybound's Transformers. My only complaint, it's more of a nitpick, and that is the grandiose way Optimus speaks. I wish he was a little bit more casual. I wish he was more relaxed like in Transformers Animated, and maybe this will get him to that. I never was a fan of Optimus speaking in so many, platitudes and all these metaphors and all the, all the lyricism to which he gave his speeches. To me, that's not interesting. To me, that's the least interesting part of Optimus. I think if he's normal, he's casual, and he talks and is approachable, that to me is more interesting. The best Optimus is like when he's at the hospital early in Daniel Warren Johnson's run, and a kid asks, a patient that's a kid there at the hospital asks him to transform, and Optimus transforms into a truck. Transforms into his vehicle mode. That's awesome. That's Optimus. It's not the crazy dial. It's not the grandiose speeches and dialogue. It's season 1 and season 2 Optimus Prime. Like the thing is, like Transformers Prime Optimus. I love Transformers Prime. I love that show. But I still prefer how Optimus is in season 1 and 2 of G1 and Transformers Animated, where he's just a little bit more casual. Or even Optimus Primal from Beast Wars. A little bit of an edge, a little bit of an attitude, talks normal, doesn't really do the speeches. That's my thing. Like, you can't imagine these, the real, like, Shakespearean Optimus going, huh. It's a funny piece of dialogue. I don't remember it verbatim, but it's like, a booby trap that actually catches boobies. I love that. That's funny. It's really hard to picture, or even the season 1 pilot where Optimus, to Megatron goes, You're last year's model, Megatron. You're just a bunch of scrap, or you're headed for the scrap heap. He says something like that. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've watched G1. But my point still stands. Like that Optimus, or even the Optimus who's like, hey, in Transformers Prime, where do these tiny organics come from? And then Sorry whispers and he makes that face. Like, that's a chill Optimus. And that's the Optimus I kind of want to see. And I'm really excited, and I hope this leads us to that. But I love this new design. I really do, man. I love it. I love this new design for Optimus, and I'm curious to see what it takes us through, and I hope this is the status quo for a while. Hell, I said this in a previous video, and I stand by it. In my opinion, I would destroy the Matrix. And you want to talk about shocking? Issue 50 coming up. Issue 50, I would destroy the Matrix of leadership. That's what I would do. But that's me. So in terms of this, in terms of the depth and what this offers, just to surmise very quickly, Optimus was in a very dark place before the Matrix. The Matrix chose him when he was at his darkest. And now it has chosen Alita. This is story. This is plot. This is important. This is character. This is drama. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. And hopefully you are too. And the issue was a 10 out of 10. My only complaint is about the pace, but I know that's subjective. That is completely subjective. I freely admit that. I hope it slows down a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to keep repeating this. I want some character moments. I want some beats. So, if you read the issue, let me know your honest thoughts. How do you feel about it? And again, if you're following along, we have other videos focusing on Alita's decisions and choices through this series, and even Jazz, because that has become a hot topic. So, remember, till all are one, and please consider liking the video, subscribing, sharing this with your other fellow bots. Bye, everyone.